Good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Well, I'll introduce myself at the end of the class at 9:30. Right? Waiting for
Okay, sir.
there are some more students yet joining. It's okay. Listen. Bottom line, this is the way you will have to go ahead with your 2 years of preparation as far as GE is concerned, that too as far as physics is concerned. First few lectures, may it be vectors, may it be calculus for physics, is technically not physics. It is mathematics. They are mathematical tools which are required in physics. So first few lectures, including vectors, calculus for physics, you will feel this is a mathematics class only. It is. Actually, also it is elementary mathematics required in physics. Why can't we wait till mathematics people complete that? Mathematics people will take a lot of time to come to those topics. So we cannot wait till they come till there. We will teach you the basics of it, what all you will need in physics, and then we will start physics. In physics, there are a few things which you will have to read. The first is, this book is called Halliday Resnick. Crane. Originally, when we were studying, there were two books, small size books called Halliday and Resnick only. Extended versions have been given by Crane and Walker. There are two extended versions. I'll show you the book. This is a masterpiece. This is Halliday Resnick Crane. Now, this book is a text. If ever you need clarity in any particular concept, Wiley Easton Publishers, Wiley India Private Limited will be publishing it. Originally, Wiley Publications. Wiley Publication. Title of the book is Physics. That is volume 1 and volume 2. This is a text. If ever somewhere down the lane you have a problem in understanding a concept, you want to reread a concept, this will be the best book to read a concept. /NCERT. This is per concept. You have a problem in the concept, this and your class notes will be the best possible sources. In physics, there are two things that you need to learn. One is the concept and its application. Application comes by practice of problems. What all books do you want me to solve for practice of problems? You will have to follow this sequence. H. E. Verma. Title of the book, I'll show you the book. The title of the book is Concepts of Physics. This is volume 1. The cover page has been slightly modified now. In the current versions, the cover page is a bit modified. Concepts of Physics by H.C. Verma. Name of the book is Concepts of Physics. Its objectives are considered to be the best and a systematic preparation and foundation for the concept. Right? You will be thorough with the application if you are thorough with this. As far as JEE Mains, PETs, everything will be considered. Right? After this, PACE booklets. These booklets for these materials will have exercise 1, 2, 3, and 4. PACE booklets. In each chapter, you will have 4 exercises. Exercise 1 is purely objective with single choice in each. Exercise 2 is multiple choice with multiple options. Exercise 3 will be match the columns and paragraphs. Exercise 4 will be subjective. Right? Exercise 1 will generally be MCQ with single option correct. MCQ with single option correct. Exercise 2 will be MCQ with multiple options correct. Multiple options correct. Exercise 3 will be match the column, paragraph questions, assertion and reasons. This will be subjective. Generally, this preparation is surplus for a particular chapter. Generally, this preparation is surplus for a particular chapter. Right? Now, there will be some among you where from mechanics, you will need more of a practice. Where do you want me to? If I am done with this, if I am done with this, I want to practice more problems because there is a test next week. Then there are two options for practice. Arihant Publications, B.C. Pandey, or Cengage Publications, author is B.M. Sharma. Online versions, free versions, students are circulating this. Your senior batches I have seen in the WhatsApp groups, the free versions of these are being online circulated, right? Or somebody is very comfortable with a paper. No, one important point with this is these people are purely commercial in nature. The subject, they split it up into 5 volumes. So it becomes a costly affair, right? This will be 5 volumes. Same applies to this 5 volumes. So even if you are buying by volume 1 only, by then you will know how to evaluate online, where you are supposed to download, where you get everything by only volume 1. And buy either this or this, don't buy both. Do not buy both. For additional practice, either you will practice from here or from one of them. So, bottom line, this is a standard text from which concept need to be studied. These two must be purchased. This is a must. Right? Do not go for duplicate versions of these books. Right? There are authors where they will show you that first 2 authors are the same, the third author will be somebody else. Do buy this book. Right? Second, Concepts of Physics by H.C. Verma, do buy this book. The cover page in the current editions has been slightly changed. Bharati Bhavan Publishers, Concepts of Physics is Bharati Bhavan Publishers. Bharati Bhavan Publications. Face booklets will be provided to you. This will be exhaustive. Till here, it is sufficient. You technically don't need anything more than that. But I see that the present generation needs too much of a practice for every major test that they take. For those students who need additional practice, either DC Pandey or Cengage, either or. I will show you both the volumes. 1 second, just stay online. These 2 volumes, DC Pandey volumes will look this way. This is part 1 mechanics. Are you able to see this? This is part 1 mechanics. Right? Cengage Publications will look this way. Mechanics, Cengage Publications will look this way. Mechanics, Cengage Publications by B.M. Sharma. Right? There will be n number of volumes for this. Cengage Publications, you will see there are n number of volumes. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, so on and so forth. Fine. So they are commercial in nature, so that those editions are available on the net. Free versions, I have seen quite a few students circulating in the groups. Avail it. Either of them will do. It is just for practice. It is old wine in new bottle. So either this or this. Both are not required. You will not even have time to solve. Whenever you need additional practice, you feel you're losing grip on a topic. Vectors is over long back. Now I just want to practice. Where from do I want to pick up this book or this book? 10 problems from the exercise will give you good revision program for all the topics. Till here, is it clear to all? Anybody with a doubt, please unmute and speak.
Sir, both the volumes of Resnick, Halliday, and Crane are required.
Yes. Second volume is also mandatory. You can buy that in the second. No hurry to buy it right. Right? That is a book which you will follow even in your engineering first year. Bits Pilani first year, first semester physics, they use Halliday, Resnick, Crane. Crane and Walker. Right? Bits Pilani uses that. So that time standard text will follow you till your engineering first year. So it's a standard. From my times, we used to read that. So it's a Bible for physics. You ever have a controversy, turn to Halliday, Resnick and see what he says will be right. You can bank on him to such an extent. Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Let's place this. Right. Now, today we will be starting vectors. As I already said, this topic, vectors and calculus for physics, will be dealt with in mathematics in detail. Right? In detail, they'll deal with this in mathematics. What they deal with is much more elaborate because originally these topics are from maths. We will give you a basic idea of what we require in physics and we will go ahead with physics. Hence, you will not have a wholesome idea on vectors. You will get some idea on vectors. There is a difference between the two. You will not get a wholesome idea on vectors. You will get the basic idea of vectors. So the moment you study vectors from here, don't pick up any book from mathematics shelf and then attempt the problems. You will not be able to attempt. Right? When maths people complete vectors, you will be able. Then where from do you want me to practice vectors? From Pace booklet. Vectors. And after covering certain content, I tell you, solve HCV problem number so much to so much. Solve booklet from here till here. So I will keep you informed as and when you need to solve what all problems. Right? Now, firstly, a physical quantity is categorized into scalars and vectors. Chapters being vector. Physical quantity. A physical quantity is categorized into scalars and vectors. First point, it should be a physical quantity. You ask me if I am a scalar or a vector, does not make sense. Is this marker a scalar or a vector? Doesn't make sense. It should be a physical quantity. How do you want me to recognize a physical quantity? It will be something with units. Velocity has units meters per second. Acceleration has units meters per second square. 99% of the physical quantities will have units. What did you say? 99%. What happened to the remaining 1%? The remaining 1% are physical quantities, but they don't have units. Can you give an example? Relative density doesn't have units. Refractive index doesn't have units. Perfect. Right? So there are physical quantities which do not have units, but yet are physical quantities. There are quite a few, but they are physical quantities. Now, firstly, it is only a physical quantity which can be categorized into scalar or a vector. What is a scalar? Only magnitude, doesn't have direction. It has both magnitude and direction. It has both magnitude and direction. Right? Both magnitude and direction. Can you give examples? Examples of scalar will be mass, time. Don't tell me time always has a direction. No. Mass, time, distance. Examples of vectors. Displacement. Acceleration. Force. So on and so forth. Incidentally, current is a scalar. Work done. Current, you may feel it travels only in one direction. Why are you placing current as a scalar? Current is a scalar. We will prove it in more than one way for you. Temporarily believe it, that current is a scalar. Displacement, acceleration, force, all these are vectors. It has direction. It has direction. Right? Why current is a scalar? We will prove it in more than one way. Temporarily remember that to be a scalar, but we will be proving. Vectors will be displacement, acceleration, and force. Quite a few examples: electric field, electrostatic field, magnetic field. All these will come in the category of vectors. One important difference that you should know between distance and displacement. If I travel this way, every small length of this, when I add up, that will be distance. Or I'll put it this way, something that you can calculate. I went from here till here. You are going from A to B. Distance traveled when you are going from A to B is pi r. You have traveled this particular distance, it is pi r. But what will displacement be? Displacement will be the shortest distance between the initial and final positions. It will be 2r. Displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final positions. It will be 2r, while the distance will be pi r. Take it down till here.
Sir, what's the second example for scalar?
Time, mass, time, distance, current, work.
Sir,
Hmm.
A the same, right?
You'll have to say that again. Your voice was resounding.
Sorry. AB and 2R are the same, right?
AB displacement is 2R. I went from A to B.
Hmm.
So distance will be pi r, displacement will be 2R.
Okay, sir.
Take it down till here. I'll just be back in a minute. I'm keeping you people on mute. Now we go to the next stage of representing a vector. How do you represent a vector? Vector representation. You need to show both magnitude and direction. How will you show magnitude and direction? You will show the magnitude of the vector by the length of the vector. For instance, suppose I want to show a force of 3 Newton. I'll draw a length correspond, say 5 Newton. So I will draw 5 centimeters of a length. 1 centimeter represents 1 Newton. The length of this line is the magnitude. Length of this line is the magnitude. This will be called head of the vector. The arrow will represent the head of the vector. This represents the head of vector. This represents the tail of the vector. This gives me the direction of the vector. This gives direction of the vector. This length will give me the magnitude. Length will give me the magnitude. I want to show 5 Newton of a force this way. Draw a 5 centimeters line in this direction. I want to show a 10 Newton force this way. draw a 10 centimeters. Centimeters, I'm taking an example. You can take 1 centimeter represents 10 Newton. You can take 1 centimeter represents 10 Newton. We have no problem with it. But bottom line, how do you represent a vector with a line having an arrow? Arrow represents the head of the vector. This represents the tail of it. Right? This is the first basic representation of a vector. Take it down till here.
Sir, why is there an arrow at F?
To show the direction.
Okay, that is the direct. Okay, sir, thank you.
Yeah, that gives direction of the vector.
Hmm.
The arrow will give the direction of the vector. Now, representation of this vector can be made simple by two things. One, I will define something called unit vector. Unit vector is a vector with unit magnitude and specific direction. Specific direction. Unit vector you use to show me the direction. You will use a unit vector to show me the direction. Its magnitude is 1. I can multiply that with anything. 1 multiplied with anything is the same. So unit vector is something with unit magnitude and specific direction. Generally, a vector is represented with this symbol of arrow on the top. This will be a vector. Magnitude of a vector will be this. Magnitude of vector. You will show it with a mod. Unit vector with a cap. Unit vector with a cap. What did you tell me unit vector was? Unit magnitude. It is A divided by magnitude of A. I have a vector, both magnitude and direction. Divide by the magnitude. I'll be left with only direction. So you represent it with a cap. So how do you write a vector? You will write it with an arrow. Mod of it will give me the magnitude. How do you represent a unit vector with a cap? A vector divided by both magnitude and direction will be the unit vector. Vector divided by both magnitude and direction will be a unit vector. In the numerator, I have got both magnitude and direction. Divide by the magnitude. I get only direction. Hence, A cap unit vector along A will be vector divided by its magnitude. Right? So unit vector is a vector with unit magnitude and specific direction. How do you further simplify this? Will be explained. Take it down till here. You should have raised your hand. Unmute and speak.
Oh, sir, sorry. It was last tense.
Right. Finish up the book.
Yeah, done, sir.
Yes, sir.
When you speak about unit vector, 1 second. I cap will be the unit vector along x-axis. Unit vector along x-axis. Small I cap. It's a standard sign. J cap is unit vector along y-axis. K cap is unit vector along z-axis. How do you represent x-axis along this, along y, and this is z-axis. Z-axis is perpendicular to the board this way. Right? Suppose I want to represent a 2 Newton force along x-axis. First representation. 2 Newton force along x-axis. How will you write this? 2 I cap. Magnitude is 2. Direction is I cap. What does I cap tell you? It is 2 Newton force along x-axis. Suppose I want to represent 10 Newton force along y-axis. How do you represent 10 J cap? Right? So now you understand how we will use the unit vector. Unit vector is used to tell me the direction of the force. What if the vector comes somewhere like this? That also will be explained as to how to do that. First of all, take it down till here. Some of I and J will be yet taught. Vector addition is a very new rule for you people. Vector addition will not be direct summation unless they are in the same direction. Right? Vector summation will be a new rule which will be explained. We'll go step by step. Firstly, when you are speaking about vector representation, we need to know the resolution of a vector. We need to know the resolution of a vector. How can you resolve a particular vector? Resolving a vector. It's like this. This is a vector R. This is theta. This is a vector R. This is theta. Call this A, B, C. All of you know the values of sine theta, cos theta, right? Sine theta will be BC divided by AC. Sine theta is opposite side by hypotenuse. BC will be, what is AC? Magnitude of R sine theta. So this will be R sine theta. R is the vector. It may be force, it may be something, it may be something. Don't worry about it right now. We will gradually start applying. R is a vector. This will be R sine theta. What will cos theta be? AP divided by the magnitude of R. That's AC. So AP is equal to R cos theta. R cos theta implies when I resolve a vector along this direction, adjacent to the angle, it will be vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle, it will be vector into sin. When I resolve a vector adjacent to the angle, it is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle, it will be vector into sin. When you resolve a vector adjacent to the angle, it is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle, it is vector into sin theta. Right? Adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle will be vector into sin. I will make you practice few more resolutions. First, to take it down till here.
Sir, what do you mean by resolving a vector?
Component of the vector. I am applying a force in this direction. It will have a component in this direction and this direction. Right?
Okay,
I am applying
got it.
force in this direction. It will have an effect to this way, it will have an effect to this way. So both directions I should know what is the component of the force.
Sir, could you repeat that when it is when you resolve it to the side that is adjacent to the angle. Could you repeat that part?
I'll dictate that statement. Wait a minute. Take this dot. I'll have to show you how that happens.
Okay.
Now, have a look at this. When will I say two vectors are identical? When they are parallel and of the same. Two vectors are identical vectors if they are parallel and of the same length. If this is A and this is A. If they are parallel and of same length. Two vectors are identical if they are parallel and of the same length. Now have a look at this resolution once again. Suppose this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is a vector R. I'm again dealing with resolving a vector in a slightly different. Now I want the component of this vector in this direction and in this direction. Don't you think this line is parallel to the y-axis? This line is parallel to the y-axis, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm calling this vector R. Call this, what did I call this? E? Did I name them the same way in the previous diagram?
No, sir.
What did I name here?
So the angle with the theta one is A, then the on x-axis it is B, and above it is C.
Okay. Right? A, B, C. Now have a look at it. What will you tell me for cos theta? Adjacent side AB by R. So what will AB be written as? R cos theta. So when I tell you component of the vector R along x-axis, x component is R cos theta. It is this AB. Now come to BC. Sin theta is equal to BC divided by the magnitude of R. Magnitude of R is AC. So BC will be equal to R sin theta. Now we are taking it one more step ahead. BC, I'll translate it on this. BC, I translate it on the y-axis. They both are parallel. They're of the same length. Y will be R sin theta. Hence, we are telling you component of the vector along the x-axis will be R cos theta, along the y-axis will be R sin theta, but don't remember them as x and y, because in days to come I'll show you examples where you will not recognize x and y. Adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle is vector into sin. Vector component adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle is vector into sin. Adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle is vector into sin. Why? There will be a day when you cannot recognize x-axis and y-axis. Then what will you do? Do we have an example like that? I will show you. Take it down. Here, what makes you say BC and y-axis are the same? They are parallel and they are of the same length, right? So you drop a perpendicular here. you will get the y component.
So my Wi-Fi lagging. Can you tell me what you said about adjacent and non-adjacent?
Adjacent to the angle, vector component adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta. This is not adjacent to the angle, right? This component is not adjacent to this angle. This component is adjacent to the angle. If this is theta, component of R adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle is vector into sin.
Okay, so got it. Thank you.
And so in this example, x equals to r cos theta, x is equals to AB only, no?
X is A.
Yeah, and
Okay.
y is,
This line,
yeah, okay.
BC.
Sir, mod of vector r and r are equal.
Yeah. We generally, when we write R without an arrow, we mean mod of R.
So, sir, just R and the magnitude symbol with R vector and the two straight lines, sir, are the same, right?
Very orthodoxly, this is the magnitude. We feel lazy sometimes, we write it R without the arrow, implies you are referring to the magnitude of R. Orthodoxly, this is the right way to write the magnitude of a vector.
Okay, so got it.
Which is the right way to write the magnitude of the vector.
Sir, can you just repeat? Adjacent to what?
Theta.
Yeah, adjacent.
R adjacent to theta is R cos theta. Not adjacent to theta is R sin. R adjacent to theta is R cos theta. Not adjacent to theta is R sin.
Sir, but adjacent to theta in any case will always be cos theta, right? With the magnitude of what whichever vector we have.
Obviously.
Yes, sir. Just confirm.
Adjacent to the angle is R cos. It should be R cos theta. If it becomes R sin theta, what I'm explaining is wrong. A vector resolved adjacent to the angle, the component is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle is vector into sin. Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Now, what was the necessity for us to know adjacent to the angle, not adjacent to the angle? Tell me x and y. Tell me component always along x-axis is r cos theta, y-axis is r sin theta. Sounds logical? There will be instances where you cannot recognize x and y. Have a look. This is an inclined plane. There is a body sliding down. mg is acting downwards. I am interested to know the acceleration down the inclined plane.
mg sin theta.
Now, how do I know which is x-axis and which is y-axis is the difficulty in the problem. You should know which is x-axis and y-axis, right? So, Here we will not waste our time understanding which is x and y. Have a look. If this is theta, this is 90, this is 90 minus theta. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This angle will be theta. If this is 90 minus theta, this will be theta. Now, component of mg adjacent to the angle will be mg into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle will be mg into sin theta. This is what you told me as components. Component of the vector adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle is vector into sin theta. Is the logic clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Take it down till.
So can you explain this again?
Component of mg adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta. If this is theta, this is 90, what will this angle be?
90 minus theta.
So this is theta.
Yeah.
Now this component adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle is vector into sin theta.
Yeah, got it.
Sir, why you wrote theta there?
That is given. This is the angle of the incline given. From this,
Yes.
you calculated this. This will be 90, this will be 90 minus theta, this will be theta.
Sir, why that theta came? I understood why 90 minus theta came, but I didn't understand. Huh.
This line is drawn perpendicular to the incline,
Yes.
right? Now this
Huh.
is vertically
Okay, yes,
done.
understood, sir.
This is 90 minus theta. This will be theta because the sum total should be 90.
Okay, sir. Understood.
But sir, if we calculate the acceleration from that other triangle, we will get mv upon sine theta.
Oh.
Sine theta equals to mg upon the component of that hypotenuse.
Bilkul nahi. So you are taking the wrong hypotenuse. Whichever vector you are resolving, that vector should be the hypotenuse of the triangle. You are resolving this vector. That must be the hypotenuse. This will be r sine theta. This will be r cos theta. Now you are resolving mg. Drop a perpendicular like this. Right? So now cos
Yeah.
theta is adjacent side by hypotenuse.
Oh, okay, sir. Got it.
So we will get the acceleration from mg sin theta, no?
Naturally. To calculate that acceleration only, we are learning how to resolve. We will deal with that in Newton's laws.
And what will we get from mg cos theta?
Why do you worry about it now? Right now, learn how to resolve a vector. What do we do with mg cos theta? We learn in Newton's laws. There are 3 chapters you can make. Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ten Newton of a force, this angle is 30 degrees. What is the component along x-axis? What is the component along y-axis? Find x component of the force and y component of the force.
Sir, x component is 5 root 3 and y component is 5.
Cos 30 and sin 30. Yes, your answers are correct. I assume all of you know sin 30, cos 30.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, then we are safe. Now, the x component will be 10 cos 30. Y component will be 10 sin 30. 10 cos 30 will be 10 into root 3 by 2, 5 root 3. 10 sin 30 will be 5. This is also Newton, this is also Newton. You mean to say a 10 Newton force this way can be written as 5 root 3 I cap plus 5 j cap. 5 root 3 I cap plus 5 j cap. This is 5 along y axis. This is 5 root 3 along x axis. Now this resultant should give me 10, which will be proved to you in days to come. But this is the way you resolve a vector. A vector adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta, not adjacent to the angle is vector into sin. Is this point clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Huh.
so can you repeat the last part of I and J?
Last part in the sense, could you tell me what it is?
So 5 root 3 I and 5 J.
5 root 3 is along which axis? 5 root 3 is along which axis?
X axis.
So you can write it as 5 root 3 I cap. I cap is the unit vector along x axis. How do I tell you that this is along x axis? I can put it as 5 root 3 I cap. 5 is along which axis?
Y axis.
So 5 j cap.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
$24 Newton. Do you know sin 37, cos 37 values?
And
Yes, sir.
37 is 3 by 5.
All of you know that, right?
No,
I
sir.
don't.
Tell me the x component and y component of this.
Sir, don't know the values.
Sin 37 is 3 by 5. Cos 37 is 4 by 5.
Sir,
I'll-
y is equal to 96 by 5 and x is equal to 72 by
One
5 Newton.
small change I made. So make this 25, it will become easy.
Sir, y component is 15 Newton, x component is 20 Newton.
Right.
No, sir. No, sir. Reverse, I guess. Reverse.
I'll solve it.
Sir, y component is 20
20.
Newton and x component is 15 Newton.
Now, y will be, I am resolving a vector adjacent to the angle. This will be 25 cos 37. Not adjacent to the angle, 25 sin 37. Now you people understand why I didn't want you to remember that as x component and y component. Don't tell me always x is r cos theta. Here it became r sin theta. It depends on the angle known to you. Component of the vector adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle is vector into sin theta. This will be 25 into 3 by 5. This is 15. 25 into 4 by 5. This is 20 Newton. So this vector can be written as 15 I cap plus 20 j cap. 15 is along x-axis. 15 I cap plus 20 j cap. Is this logic clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Sin 37, cos 37 values will be taught. We will use that in physics quite frequently. In days to come, I'll cover that. Either maths people will cover that, if not, I'll cover.
Okay, sir.
it. 15 Newton of a force. This will be 37 degree, right? Once again, sin 37 is 3 by 5, cos 37 is 4 by 5. This will be
12 I cap minus 9 j cap.
y-axis. This will be negative y-axis. This is positive x-axis, negative x-axis. Remember, if I represent this with I cap, this will be minus I cap. If I represent this with j cap, this will be minus j.
Sir, 9 I cap minus 12 j cap.
Wait, I'll solve it. 1 second. Let the others also. I think he's right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It is 9 I cap minus 12 j cap.
This component will be 15 cos 37. This component will be 15 sin 37. Component of the vector adjacent to the angle is vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle is vector into sin. This will be 15 into 3 by 5. This is 15 into 4 by 5. This will be 12. This will be 9. So I can write this as 9 I cap plus 12 minus j cap. Either you put a negative here or you place the negative here. We are perfectly okay with both. 9 I cap minus 12 j cap. I and j are unit vectors along x-axis and y-axis. Did you understand how we exploit these unit vectors? To tell us the direction. To tell us the direction.
Sir, in this case, the y-axis is at negative. That's why we took minus j cap, right?
Naturally, it's in the negative y-axis. Now, have a look at this. If this is r and this angle is given as theta, you call this r cos theta, you call this r sin. Right? Suppose we give you this value as theta, then you will call this r cos theta. This will you will call it as r sin theta. Say, what will this angle be? 90 minus theta.
Yes,
Then
sir.
a student will tell me, now I will resolve r adjacent to this angle. You're welcome. You can write this as r cos 90 minus theta. Adjacent to the angle, it is vector into cos of that angle.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you will write it as r cos 90 minus theta. What is cos 90 minus theta?
Sin theta.
And
Sin
theta.
theta.
Right? So when you take a vector adjacent to the angle, it is vector into cos theta. Now you will say, instead of this, I will take 90 minus theta. You are most welcome. R cos 90 minus theta is nothing but r sin theta. Same applies here. This will be 90 minus theta. Somebody will tell me, I will not take this angle. I will take this angle to resolve. Welcome. This will be r cos 90 minus theta, which will be nothing but r sin. Component of the vector adjacent to this angle is vector into cos theta, which is nothing but r sin theta. You understood the point here? Take it down till here.
Minus 50 I cap root 3 into 50 j cap.
Okay, wait. Let the others also complete and we'll solve. Now, 100 Newton when I resolve along this direction and this direction, this will be 100 cos 30. Adjacent to the angle, it is vector into cos theta. 100 sin 30. 100 sin 30 is 1 by 2. This is 50. 100 cos 30 is root 3 by 2. This is 50 root 3. So you can write it as 50 minus I cap plus 50 root 3 j cap. Why 50 minus I cap? It is towards the negative x-axis. 100 sin theta. 100 cos theta. So far, so good. Till here, is it clear to all? Anybody with a doubt? We have defined a vector. We have defined a unit vector, right? We have learned how to resolve a vector. Adjacent to the angle, vector into cos theta. Not adjacent to the angle, vector into sin theta. Till here, is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can you people switch on your cameras? I want to see your faces. People who have access to switch on your cameras. I can see Rishabh, I can see Neep, I can see Tanisha, Chitra, what's your name? JEETRA. Your login names will be, some of you may be logging in from your parents' electronic device. So sometimes it happens that your parents' names are displayed. Okay, good to see your faces. To introduce myself, what you see my name on the Zoom ID is my complete name. Venkata Narasimhacharya is my name. Don't ask me, is Venkata my name or Narasimhacharya my name? Both put together is my name. Surname comes. Vakkalanka is my surname. Here also it comes in the end, but when we write surname in the front. Vakkalanka Venkata Narasimhacharya. Only after this online lecture started, people got to know my complete name. If not, they cannot pronounce my complete name. Right? Here in PACE, I am known only by this name. There are people in the eastern part of our country and western part of our country with Acharya as a surname, both in Maharashtra, even in Bengal and Assam. There are people with this surname. This is neither my name nor my surname. Here in PACE timetable, what you people will see is the first two names of the faculty, and the third alphabet is that of the subject that we teach. ACP will be the timetable abbreviation code. On the timetable that you people see, the abbreviation will appear this way. Right? This is for your understanding. I have a doctorate in physics where I worked on underwater sensors. Underwater sensors. Right now, you will not understand anything about it. In second year, when we are teaching you dielectrics, I'll tell you about it. Underwater sensors are used in sonars. To detect an incoming plane, you can send electromagnetic waves, but inside the water, you cannot send electromagnetic waves. It will be a sonar. These sonars are generated by these sensors. They are smart materials. Not only can they send the signal, they can even receive the signal. They are also referred to as actuators. Second year, while dealing with dielectrics, I'll speak about it. There is something called a chapter, errors and measurements for you people. In that, I'll tell you why the complications of the name made it mandatory. Aadhaar is a unique system only in our country. What was the necessity? Why should we have Aadhaar cards when passports are being issued? The problem is in our country, the nomenclature is a very complicated system. Right? Different parts of the country follow different forms of representation. Hence, we had to have a fingerprint biometric recognition so that the person is identified. If not, the same name in different places will be written in different ways. For example, my passport will hold my name this way. My election ID card holds my name this way, VV Narasimhacharya. right? Now, even Google cannot recognize that all these names belong to the same guy. You type my complete name on Google, you will get my research work, which is patent. You type my name as BVN Acharya, you will see my research work, which is published. Google cannot recognize that these both names are the same, right? Hence, Aadhaar card becomes mandate. Why Aadhaar card came into picture is because of this complicated nomenclature. Second, if you people see our time school certificates, 10th standard and 12th standard certificates, we had our name and father's name. Mother's name was not part of the certificate then. Now, why do you think mother's name has become part of the certificate? Because deep down in South, there are certain sects in Kerala where the surname is carried from the mother's side. Surname is carried from the mother's side. Now, how do you recognize a candidate? His surname and his father's surname will not be the same unless the mother's name is written there. So hence now all certificates, they have made it mandatory that even the mom's name will be carried so that the surnames can be matched or recognized. Proper recognition goes into, right? When we deal with the chapter errors and measurements, I'll keep you informed about it. This goes into the category of systematic errors. We could have avoided. If we had a systematic nomenclature, we could have avoided it. But well, people will not accept it. That's the reason why Aadhaar cards came into the picture. Right? Second point, in general, the first lecture we get introduced to all of you. But today I see that only some of you have switched on your cameras. So fine. Slowly I'll get accustomed to you people. I'll take some time to remember you people because in a live lecture, seeing you people on is a different issue. No online lecture, I will not know 90% of you, right? So I'll take time to know you people, but that's okay. Let's hope for the best. Stay safe, stay at home. Mumbai will take some time before we can switch to offline lectures. Offline lectures will take some time. We were under the impression that probably this month, next month, we'll start with offline lectures, but I don't see anything close by. Till all of you are vaccinated and the government says there will be a long time before you people can be vaccinated. Okay. So good day, goodbye, and see you day after tomorrow. We have a lecture day after tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. And
Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir. Bye,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.